Hello, guys. I hope you are doing all great and blessed this morning, my amiable, amazing, esteemed, highly esteemed fans out there. And good morning, blessed, glorious morning to you all around the world, depending on wherever you're hearing and watching me from. Here, of course, we are here, of course, still to talk about sports. We like sports, and sports is a passionate thing that most people around the world really love. It's a billion dollar industry. And yeah, of course, can't do without talking about sports. And right now, it's still on the AFCON 2025, 2026 that is taking place in Morocco. And guess what? It's still about the Nigeria Morocco semi-final match that was played. People have been sharing their views and opinions, and there has been mixed feelings, mixed emotions, because, of course, a lot of people supported the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and of course, the Moroccans on their own were, of course, there as the host country to really carry. They did everything humanly possible, of course, to watch that match, and that match really saw how they played tactically. Of course, they were all out to destabilize the Nigerian tactical approach to that match, and of course, which they did quite well. Of course, not to mention the very fact that Nigeria was also missing the services of their Mercurian defensive midfielder in person of Wilfred Ndidi. And of course, that being said, on the part of the Nigerian coach, if as a coach that is really up to date in the world of football, coming into that match and having played the first half, seeing what happened, and you saw the service of your midfielder in the person of Wilfred Ndidi as the captain of the team was missing. Then, of course, you would devise a quick one to come into that match in the second half, not to continue with the same process that your team played in that first half. So he was now lacking the necessary tactical approach to the game. Of course, the game had to go into the extra time after having played the second half, and of course, you can't take it away from the Nigerian team. They did a yeoman's job. They played, and they gave a very good account of themselves. And in spite of the fact that they were somehow dominated, and yeah, they were really under pressure. They were able to soak the pressure, and the defense line of Nigeria to the keeper. Of course, the keeper all throughout that match has been playing. He has been on holiday. He really did well in that match, making crucial saves for the Nigerian side, and the defenders. Of course, the central defense of the Glad were there. Ajayi and Basi. Of course, Basi was exceptional. Ajayi, of course, he also stood his ground, and the other guy was Osai Samuel. The other guy, Oyema, yeah, of course, Oyema, he also gave a very good account of himself. Holding that guy, that Moroccan winger at the place for Real Madrid, Diaz, holding him down. The other guy, Hakimi, according to the African footballer of the year, he was able to hold that guy down also to ensure that they didn't get a goal. And I must say that the Nigerian side, we are really feared and dread in that match by the Moroccans coming to that match. And yeah, of course, that's why they have to do all they did to be able to ensure that Nigeria doesn't play their game. And of course, if it was Nigeria, I must say to the fans that are all rolling in the internet and saying all sort of things, if it was Nigerians that had those chances that the Moroccans have, believe you me, Nigeria would have won that match straight down. There's no doubt about that. Despite the fact that they didn't even have those chances, but they held on to that game to the end to ensure that that game ended in the stalemate. And of course, penalty is a game that it can go either way. Either way can take the day. And yeah, of course, the Moroccans with their crowd, fans, everything, they did everything humanly possible to make sure that they win that match, even when it now ended up in penalty shootout. Even the Nigerian goalkeeper, everybody saw it, how he was being distracted when it was time for him to keep the man the post for the Moroccans to take their shots. He will put his towel there for wiping up his blows and all that stuff. He did it once or twice. He'll keep it by the side post of the side of the post. One of the fans or whoever they are, I don't really know, the technical whatever, come pick it up. He'll go again and take another one, come pick it up. So it was really a game plan for the Moroccans that there's no way that cup is going to leave their country, because they've had that experience before. They hosted the female version of the African Cup of Nations that last year. Nigeria came and won it. So Nigeria again, this time around, is not going to come and win that cup in their soil anymore. So that was the plan. And of course, I for one, after this match, I will still want a friendly. If Morocco will be bold, the Moroccan national team will be bold enough to organize a friendly match. Of course, they are going for the World Cup. If in their preparation, they should call for a friendly match with Nigerian Super Eagles again to have a replay of this match with Nigeria having every of their full squad complete and them having their full squad complete. I bet you, believe you me, Morocco will not be able to win Nigeria because, yeah, of course, they are a good side. Don't take it away from them. They've been together. They've been together under the same coach. They understand each other better. I still saw that Nigeria in that match was so feared. They feared Nigeria because Nigeria was really good and they were determined. They have a talented player, physically fit players, strong players, and that was what Morocco feared. And they are well. The Nigerian defense have not been this organized before to play a side like this. These Moroccans that all the matches that they played, they've scored their opponent, but coming to play against Nigeria, they found it very difficult to even get it. In spite of all the shots they had on target, they couldn't get it. In spite of the pressure, the possession, percentage of possession they had, they just couldn't do anything as much as getting a goal. So it was really frustrating to them that they tried all they could, but yet they couldn't break into the nets of getting a goal. So kudos to Nigerian national team and all Nigerian fans, home and abroad in diaspora, head up high, shoulder squared, chin up, and just be celebrating. Of course, it's a third place match that Nigeria will be playing against the Pharaohs of Egypt later today. And of course, I know Nigeria will be able to give account of themselves in that match, at least go home with something. Of course, Nigeria is very rare. Nigeria going for the AFCON, not at least getting something home. Of course, they were in the last two editions, they were in the final, just the last three editions that, of course, they also miss out in the second round to Tunisia and so. So this time around, of course, they are here, which is their trademark. Any nation cup they go, they are always getting to the last four. And this one is not exception. They are already there and they are getting it. So I know fans out there, of course, the passion that has been spilling all over the internet of the officiating, from the organizers, all that, the fans, the CAF, referee, and all that stuff. Yeah, of course, it's part of the game. But of course, what I see there is that if the Nigerian coach were able to tactically do something different from what he was expected, something different from what he was already saying during the first half, and coming to the second half, he was able to do something as a quick one. No, never can tell. It will have changed the tempo and changed the rhythm changed the narrative of that game. So he lacked the tactical approach because, of course, coming to that game, your game plan has already been known by all the teams that you have been playing. So coming to that game, unexpectedly, you flip the script instantly for the Moroccans to be confused and don't know what to play. Think of one or two players on your bench that you would have brought in again that you couldn't even be, they won't even be expecting. And of course, talk to your boys, your players, give them a pep talk on how to also change the narrative, change their mode, change their approach to the game. Instead of just wanting to be too forceful, let them try to even take the match ball carefully and even try to be feinting when it comes to approaching or attacking. Feint your opponent. I saw the way one of the Moroccan feinted Nigerian defender, Osare Samuel, that he fed. So those were some of the things that they were supposed to be giving pep talk to now decide to be doing. Just take it calm, be patient, concentrate, relax yourself in a high tempo match. Relax them in the face of those kind of pressure. Be able to relax yourself and start doing something like that. Feinting your player, not just trying to be instantly be in a hurry. No, calm, relax and feint your opponents. So you see that in that moment, they would have been able to break even the Morocco, even get one or two more shots on goal, and even get a goal to the surprise and the amazement of the Moroccan players and their fans in general. So those were some of the things I also noticed in that game that they would have been able to do. And of course, these players, of course, believe you me, they need even victory in their career because it's their career. We, the fans are watching them. You have little or nothing to lose. They don't have more to lose. So a player should have been able to do that. Is the more reason they should be able to exert themselves into matches like this. Because when it came to playing the penalty, they would have been able to exert themselves into the game. And the coach himself too, I don't know how far he did to exert himself into these boys, you understand, to make them really know that this is not a joking game. Like, of course, Samuel Chuku being called to come and take a penalty on chewing gum shows some kind of lackadaisical attitude approach to games like this, which is not good. You are a professional, for crying out loud. There should be that hunger. Of course, it all depends on how professional, because most footballers are more professional than the other. It all depends on how professional some of them have that mindset. Of course, they made money. There's no need for whether they have a silverware or they don't have a silverware. There's not a problem. It's not a problem to them. So that is it. But fans out there, of course, fans are passionate. They need to have something from their national team. But a player that is more professional should know that winning trophy, silverware like this is more important. So it's very important to their career. So that is more reason approach to games like this. It should be even more personal to players that really know what they are doing, that knows how it is to be a complete full professional footballer. So guys, yeah, of course, it's good to be passionate, but passion with diplomacy, passion with wisdom, passion with sense, and that is, it's like me telling, having some fans coming like, he would have been able to do this coaching job more than the coach. Yeah, of course, I feel so too. At times, I wonder. I think, like, yeah, of course, I want to go viral. I want to shout out loud, make myself to be more visible, know how that, yeah, this coaching job, they should give it to me, and everyone should give it to me. I could be able to even do better than this coach, which of course is something that is really reoccurring in the heart of most fans out there. But however, what can you do? It's just what it is, it's just what it is. So life goes on. The boys played well, good game. They were not disgraced compared to other teams. They still have it all. It's time to go forward. They can do better. So guys, love you guys. Follow, share. Of course, in cases like this, it's all about social media things. It's all about growth. It's all about, advancement. And for growth and advancement and engagements, your follow, your like, your subscribing to my channel and following my Facebook page is key to all these things, guys. So we can continue to get together, know more about each other, and talk more. So guys, thank you and God bless you. Bye.